Hi guys, today we've got one project to get done, but before we jump into that, I just want to let you guys know it's early morning and we're out in the backyard, but there's a lot of activity going on. We've got school buses driving by, airplanes flying overhead, and the county is here repaving our street. So they're working on the street behind us now. So that should probably take a couple weeks, I'm not sure, but if you hear a lot of noise in the background, that's what that is. But our project is one that I'm super excited about, but didn't think we'd be getting to so soon in the season. We're gonna be planting the Carolina Sweetheart Redbud today, and I absolutely love this tree. It is so beautiful and so colorful. If you're not familiar with the Carolina Sweetheart Redbud, it's a variegated redbud, and just look at all of the colors on this one branch. You've got creams and greens and pinks and burgundies. Just look at this. Look at this leaf. It's a beautiful muted green with a creamy white margin, but then underneath you've got this like burgundy plum color with a light cream margin. And if we put them all together, look at that. Isn't that just spectacular? We actually had one of these last year, but it didn't survive our winter. We had an unusual cold snap and the temperature dropped over 30 degrees overnight and it got down to 5 degrees. So that sudden cold snap took out quite a few trees. But I'm so excited to get this in the ground. This is my first Carolina Sweetheart Redbud, and just look at this. Oh, I can't wait for this to grow. So let's take a look at the stats here. So this is actually quite a big tree. It gets 20 to 30 feet tall and wide, and it's hardy in zones 5 through 9. It does like full sun, but if you're in a more warmer climate, this would probably benefit with a little bit of afternoon shade. Now let me show you where it's gonna go. We are going to be planting it in the butterfly garden. So for those of you that don't know, this area does get full sun, but we are transitioning this to a part shade garden. So we need to put in a few bigger trees to kind of bring in some of that shade. And the Carolina Sweetheart Redbud is going right there. I've had this metal rod in here for quite a while because I've been reserving this spot here for the redbud. However, I was not anticipating getting such a huge tree with such a big root ball. So we need to make a little bit of room to get this tree in. So I think I might have to move one of the Nepeta, possibly two. We recently took out a lot of the grass and expanded the bed, so we've been filling it with a lot of full sun plants and perennials. And I know a lot of you guys are probably like, why are you doing that if you're planning on turning it into a partial shade garden? Well, it's going to take quite a few years for the trees that we're putting in to mature. So until then, we're going to enjoy it as a full sun bed. And then as the trees age and get bigger and they start casting a bigger shadow of shade over the whole garden, we can slowly start transitioning from full sun plants to part sun, part shade. And we actually need it in our property because if you look around, we don't really have huge trees in our area or around our yard. And we did that specifically because we had a lot of foundation work done a few years ago because we were getting water in the house. So I don't really feel comfortable planting bigger trees closer to the house, but I do like them in the yard. And honestly, I have considered planting a weeping willow at the bottom of the swale because I figured that area gets so much water, it would love it. But again, it's still for me, bugs. It's still for me a little too close because the weeping willow has such aggressive roots that go anywhere and everywhere searching for water, and they can actually damage pipes and foundations. So I'd have to wait until we get a bigger property to get a few of those in my possession. But for now, we are going to be focusing on the Carolina Sweetheart Redbud, and I'm so excited to get it in the ground. I don't think we're going to need much in the way of tools. I brought out my shovel. I've got the 9-inch auger, my kneeling pad, some gloves, our Biotone starter fertilizer, and I brought out a few large nursery containers to protect the perennials around where we're going to be digging. So what I'm thinking is because the auger kicks up so much dirt, if I covered these plants that are surrounding where we're going to be digging, it would protect them. Hold on, I might need 2 hands for this. So I could just take the plant and just cover it. like that for now. That's actually a little nifty idea. We'll do the same to the surrounding plants. All right, guys, let's get this tree planted. Okay, we've got our plants covered and protected. I scooted the mulch away and I dug up the Nepeta and transferred it to a nursery container. I'll probably pop it in over here after we're done, but we are ready to dig. All right, let's go untie this tree. All right, guys, tree is positioned. We are ready to go. Look at it. Oh my, it looks beautiful. I'm so excited. I can't believe this is in our garden right now. Oh, I'm so excited. Now, you will notice that it is a little off to the side over here. And then when you stand over here, let me get out of the light, hold on. Oh, this is so exciting. All right, let's look at it from this side. So you can see it's kind of going near. That's because it's a little top heavy. So we're gonna definitely need to stake it and straighten it out. But the actual trunk is straight in the ground. You can see it's just right when it gets up here and starts branching out that this branch is just leaning forward. So I think if we just stake it over here, it'll look just fine. But I'm gonna wait for Mo to get home from work so we can do it together. That way one of us can hold the stake and adjust it while the other one kind of guides the other, just to make it look straight all the way around. But oh, you guys, look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. I did mention earlier, this tree is hardy in zones 5 through 9, and it gets 20 to 30 feet tall at maturity, and that's usually around the 10-year mark. So this is actually going to be perfect right in this area. It may look like it's a little too close to the crepe myrtle, but it's actually not, because I did measure it earlier. So it's a little over 15 feet from the trunk of the crepe myrtle to the trunk of the redbud, and then from the trunk of the redbud right over to here where we have the blueberry beds, it's about 20 feet. So when this grows, let's say to maturity, let's say 20 feet in 10 years, it'll be coming over into just underneath the canopy of the crepe myrtle, and then it will be branching out over the lawn right to about here, and it'll provide a little bit of shade, and it'll slowly start to hug in this little future walking path. So it's definitely got enough room. It's got more than enough room by the fence, so it's not going to encroach into our neighbors' yards, but it will fill in, hopefully cover the shed a little bit more. And this is deciduous, so it will drop its leaves in the fall. And I'm not sure, one of you guys asked me if this thing will spread its pods all over the place like typical redbuds, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'll keep you guys posted. I came out with the 9-inch auger to initially start digging the hole. Then I came back around with my shovel and manually dug all around the edges of these plants, added some Biotone starter fertilizer, got it planted and all watered in. Now, because we're planting in partially clay soil, I did plant it an inch above the soil line and just kind of hill the soil around the root ball, kind of like to make a hill so water flows away from the trunk. But I am going to keep my eye on the level because clay soil tends to settle a little bit. And if it does go and settle too much and gets below the soil line, we are going to have to dig it up and raise it a little bit more. But I'll keep my eye on it and keep you guys posted. Before we wrap up, I have one more thing to show you. Looks like we have a few blueberries to harvest. Look at that. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh my. So these little net pouches, these are what I used for covering our tomatoes last year, and they work great. I tried them on the blueberries, and you can see they did a great job, but it is a little tedious having to go in and net or pouch each bunch. So I am thinking of ordering or getting just one giant cover for them. But look at that. Oh, so exciting. I can't believe that. This is the Sweetheart High Bush blueberry, and this had fruit when I got it earlier this year, so I was expecting it to fruit and ripen. This one was the largest out of all of our blueberry bushes. We've got 4 of them over here, but this was the largest, so I did expect fruit. This one is still getting a little acclimated, so it's got a little bit of fruit. What variety is this? Oh, the tag came off. Uh-oh, I'm gonna have to find it. Anyways, we've got some blueberries to harvest. Taste test. They are so sweet, and because the sun is just hitting them, they're a little bit warm. So good. I better save some for Mo and Chewy. Oh, the label's right in front of me. This is the pink lemonade. So I was told when I got this that the berries are pink, but they're very sweet, like candy. So I'm really excited to try this. Oh, we have another bundle that's partially ready. Oof. Man down. 5-second rule. Look at the size of these blueberries. We've got another bundle up here. Some blueberries in there. Look at these. So excited. Look at that. These are still a little underripe. They're still firm. Not bad for our first blueberry harvest. And some of these are just huge. And these are our other two blueberry bushes. This is the Legacy blueberry bush, and this is the one that we've had for years, and I don't know what variety it is. All I know is it's a northern high bush variety, but you can see it's got quite a load of berries, and they're starting to ripen. Look how many this one has. Just loaded. Oh, this is so exciting. What an awesome day. We got the Carolina Sweetheart Red Bud planted. I'm looking at it right now, and I cannot believe that it's actually on our property and in our garden. I am so, so happy that we actually found this tree, and it's here, and it's ours. And surprise little blueberry harvest. I'm hoping this is just a sneak peek at what the harvest season has for these bushes, because blueberries are one of our favorites. So that's why I filled these beds up with blueberries, because they are just so delicious, and there's nothing like homegrown produce. So hopefully we have more and more loads of blueberries to enjoy while we sit and look at the Carolina Sweetheart Red Bud. And you guys, that is it for this video today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.